Hello, everyone. It's Tex Tech here. Okay, so off stream, guess what? I did some stuff. Let's see here. We'll grab our character and we'll grab the animation that I set up and give it a play. Here you go. Let's go directly into this, then do it. Hand raise. It gets all the extra junk off the screen. You can see he's going to raise his hand up, right? And I'm thinking this will be the animation. And you notice his eyes move too. So like he's looking at what he got. This will be the animation that I want to play when you get an item from a chest. Hey, below the def. Below the stone. Below the def. Wow. I didn't get any gold for leaving that open all day, by the way. I know it's only when you're streaming. Yeah. Let's see. We need to create another Unity script to go with the inventory script that will hold the images that go with these when just stay streaming 24/7. I'm sure there's channels that do that too, like they have it set up for just stream avatars. I had thought about getting that a long time ago, but I don't have the art skills like you do to make characters for it, so I figured there was no point. So like I said, we're gonna need a script. We're gonna need it on probably the player so that we can hold those items. Their image that will show at least. So that's our key that's showing. There it is. Let's get rid of that. Let's go ahead and make a prefab of it. I don't know if we're gonna need it later, but let's make it. There we go. Sweet. Thought it'd be cool if you put your own characters, yeah. But if it could be used if you just use the default avatars for it, yeah. I figured there's lots of people that are using the defaults, so. Let's go ahead and save this scene. Let's just grab something to center ourselves. There we are. And we don't have a player in this one, do we? It should have inventory on it, right? Yep. Okay. Inventory display, maybe? So I forgot yesterday when I made the inventory script that we were going to need the ability to show the items when you receive them coming out of a chest. Where'd my script go? Come on. What? I added that, right? Oh, there it is. That was slow. Okay, so we're gonna need to basically take an inventory in to this. Now we're gonna need to look at the player's inventory. This is just gonna hold a sprite render. That's all it's gonna do. Sprite render, sprite key, sprite render, power sword. Sprite bow, probably. Yep. Right, render, sprite, bow. So what this is going to do for us is it's going to allow us to hold those, make them all serializable. Now we'll make them public because this is going to be kind of a cheater class. Public. Do we want them to be static? I don't think so because we'll have to get it off the player. Okay. And then we'll say get sprite. Gosh. I'm trying to make it dynamic enough to where I can just say get sprite or something like that, but if I pass an inventory into it, there's nothing that says that an inventory can't have more than inventory class can have more than one item. But I want the chest to only have one item. Public sprite, get sprite render. Get sprite for inventory. Return sprite key as the default. So if sprite, no, okay, we need to do the inventory. Inventory in inventory. If in inventory dot has power sword, then we'll return power sword. TURN sprite power sword. Else if in inventory has bow, return sprite bow. Else if in inventory key count is greater than 0, return sprite key. And we'll also put a debug debug.log error, no sprite found. Tech forgot something. Something. That should do it. And then we take the key that we created the other day. And toss that in there. But why not? It's an image, isn't it? Not a sprite. Dang. Okay, so I need to change those. So the sprite render. Gosh, gotta find one. Takes a sprite. There we go. I'm just gonna fill them all in for now with the key. There we go. Save. And now in my chest code, merge, right? So on this, we need to do in the open. So we got the collider down here. It's the player inventory. Oops. Private. Inventory display. ID. ID equals game object dot find objects with tag. Player. Get component. It's not efficient, but it's on start, so I don't care. Inventory display. Just make my load time slightly longer, a whole millisecond or something. Then down here we can say that we need to display the image, right? So how are we gonna do that? We need an image sprite render on our player probably. So young hero. Right. There's diminishing returns at some point, right? Where is this sprite render going to render? I do not know because we don't have key in there. Oh, I can't offset its position with this, can I? Dang it. Oh, we'll have to put another child object then. Actually makes it easier, I guess. Item found. Spot. Creative name is creative. Animations, this down. And we're gonna go to hand raised and we're gonna put his hand up. And you're not gonna keep your freaking hand up, awesome. Hand raised. It's gonna be like there. Boy, there's really nothing. I like halfway between there and there. That's actually pretty good. Maybe I'll move it over here. There we go. So this will be the spot that we add the sprite render then. And then if we go key on that, I guess we can go back here and check it out now. Animation puts that animation might put this emote out of business. Animation might put this emote out of business. Okay, the tool I used to listen to read the stream chat really like destroyed that. I don't know why. It came through fine in the Twitch window. Must not like the little pointer thing. It does look a lot like this, right? That one was fine. Hand raised. Okay, so it needs to go up further. Wow, okay, my program must be like junk tonight. It's destroying the message. Like instead of the image, it says static CDN blah blah blah, like the URL to the image. There we go. Put this here, put this back on hand raised, play it again. Yeah, well, it's fine because I can read it on my other screen in Twitch because I have them both open. I open this app from Restream because of that noise it makes when somebody sends a message, so I can pay attention to the chat. I got it configured for that. That reminds me. So, what I meant the other day about different stream or scenes is in OBS or Streamlabs too. I'm pretty sure you can do it in Streamlabs. You can set up different scenes that do different things based on what you're trying to do. So, you could have one scene that's focused on Andrew's development, but then you can switch to another stream or another scene that's focused on your art if you needed to. By just switch the scenes inside your streaming software. So in my OBS, oh crap, I've got all these different scenes set up, right? So that's what I'm doing by switching between them. Just going to the different ones. And I don't know if my... it's not quite long enough to cord for it, but I've got a Stream Deck sitting on my desk, so I've got hotkeys built into that. It's easy from having to move them around on the screen all the time, you know, like dragging stuff around, because that gets annoying and finicky. Set up hotkeys and boom, done. Okay, so that should be it. We're going to turn this off by default. And in this, no, we'll do it up here. We're going to back on the display item thing. We'll set up a method that basically sets the sprite render for item found spot, sets a timer, or sets the sprite render, sets it to active. Then on that one, we'll set a timer to deactivate it. Maybe. Maybe we can play a little animation on the item where it goes and spins or something. Flashes. So public, void, display. And turn on. Display item. Sure. We'll call it display item. We'll take in the same inventory. Inventory in. And we'll pass that to this deal. So on start for this one, start. Private. Oh, good, it did it for me. We're gonna need a sprite render reference, and we're gonna need a reference to that game object. So we're going to game object item display. Item found object. Sure. And then sprite render SR. So item found object is going to equal find child get child. Can't do it by name, can you? Index won't be reliable if I add any more objects. I just gotta do another tag. What other tag it is? Oh, there's not a limit to the number of tags there are in Unity. Game object dot find game object with tag. That game object. And then SR will equal item found object dot get component of type sprite render sprite render. There we go. So down here we go sr dot sprite equals name of this method that I forgot and the name of that parameter, and then we say item found object dot set active equals true. No, not like that. Like this on that one. And on this, we're gonna add another script. It's gonna say deactivate after time. Sure. Or do we put an animator controller on this and do it through animations? Let's do it this way. Might end up needing this anyway. So public time or float time to live. We'll set it to 1,000, which should be a second, I believe. And then we'll just say time to live equals time to live minus time dot delta time. And then we'll say if time to live oh my gosh, time to live, it's less than 0. Then transform dot set active game object dot set active false. So that should turn it off. Okay. And that was in here. And in the chest. Got a reference to inventory display. ID dot get component display inventory display boom dot that inventory. My inventory. Okay. Let's see how bad that is. How bad I've created a monster. Oh, okay, it doesn't even compile. That's how bad. Field names serialized multiple times in the class or single or its parent class. This is not supported. Cool, it doesn't even tell me where. How about we compile you over here then? Warning, field chest interaction at top is never assigned to. That's because we're assigning it in the inspector. It's fine. Open sprite top, same deal. I don't see any issues in there. Same field name is serialized multiple times in the class or its parent class. Maybe my? Maybe that's already a part of Unity. That'd be weird if it is. Come on, finish compiling. Nope, wasn't that one. So let's comment this out and go sr dot this dot sr. That's not a thing. Where's it coming from? ID. That's probably it. Rename. Now it should compile. Should have known that. That's what I get for going fast. Let's clear. Go into here, save. Just in case it wasn't clear in the message for some reason. Just appears to be the case. Uh-oh, I didn't set something. Okay. Let's fix that. Refab. Open. And it's a sprite render. There is a sprite render on it. Okay, let's go to the scene here. Is it because we didn't update this version of the prefab? It's got a sprite renderer too. Well, let's do this. Do that, and we'll attach to Unity. And run it. Start. It's null. It didn't find the game object tag. Okay, did I not set it in the tag? Did I set it in the layer? By mistake. Oh, it's on tag. It's because it's deactivated, I bet. So let's do this. We'll do that. Right, and then we'll run it. See if it gives us the error. If it does, we know why. I have a second to have a key. Or however many seconds that's going to be. Okay, time to delta time is not a millisecond based thing. 1,000 is quite a lot of time. It is counting down. It should be 1 instead of 1,000, I think. Start. Okay, we got a key. Wow, it should be less than 1 even. Right, it kept it from before. Okay, now it's at 1. Okay, in theory, it should have had it. And if I come over to here, neither one of them did it. Do those chests have keys? They did. The green chest did. Console errors? None. Inventory display just says display item. It sets the sprite and then sets active to itself or to the item found. Well, let's do it this way instead. sr.enabled equals true. And we'll disable or stop play mode. We'll basically use enable and disable on the sprite instead of on the game object. Should help with troubleshooting it too. Okay, so it's enabled there. And deactivate after a certain time. We're going to say false. To the sprite render. Private sprite render sr dot equals game object transform get component right render. There we go. Should display it. Guess I don't need this anymore then, do I? Yeah, I do for this piece. Unless I do this. Ta-da! Run it. I also didn't play the animation yet, but that's a whole different thing. I wonder if it's because there's 2 of them and it's setting the display to something else. They're too close together and the other one doesn't have anything in it. But sprite render is off, but it is set to key. I can't enable it. Ha! Because I need to reset that stupid timer. Get component. Dot. I don't know. Time. It's not even accessible, is it? It is. My time to live. Equals 1. A horrible place to put it, but it's where it is for now. It's gonna need a lot of redoing. Okay, let's go to the overworld scene, change that chest just to make sure that's not part of it. Red chest variant, we're gonna move you down here just so we don't accidentally grab you. Play again. Okay, now it shows the key. There we go. Okay, there's got to be a better way of doing this. Maybe events. Maybe, right? We're getting things across multiple objects, and that's causing a lot of extra work to do every frame, and it needs to be centralized somewhere. Right? We need maybe a game manager that does it, right? So every time you find something, you pass it off to the game manager, and the game manager has references to everything it needs for displaying stuff like that. I mean, we're kind of using the player as that game manager right now. Is basically what we're doing. We can move the deactivate after time into this script. That would be good. Eliminate one script on it, and then all those extra lookups to find that other script. Because deactivate after time, the only benefit having it on this is it's on a separate game object, but we need a reference to that game object over here anyway. So let's do that. We're gonna set this. We're gonna do this in update, which we don't have in this one, right? Yeah. So private void update. There we go. And we say this down here now. And then this can all go away. Because the SR should be set already for this to work. Yep. One less script. Deactivate. Boom. Delete you. Let's say public float reset amount, reset time to reset time. And we'll reset it to reset time. That way we can set it in the inspector if we ever want it to be something other than 1. Okay, let's go over to game, hit maximize. Play. Okay, there's a little key item. It shows what we got. Oh, didn't have anything. Okay, let's test it out in another way. So on our player, we've got the sprites for display here. We're setting them all to key. So let's set them to something else. I don't know. Like the dungeon button or something. Locus Inspector, please. We'll set this one to that button. We'll set... Saving failed. Check the console window to get more insight as what needs to be fixed. Autosave is temporarily disabled. What? You're trying to replace it or create a prefab from the... that is missing a script. Okay. This is not allowed. Well, I would gladly remove it if Unity, if you showed me what was in here. But you won't even let me click on another object right now. Because I blocked it like an idiot. Okay, remove. There we go. Those darn computers doing exactly what you tell them to do, I tell you what. Yes, I would like to save my changes now that autosave is turned off. Thanks, Unity. Okay, so that was dumb. I went to play mode too fast. On the red chest, let's give it has power sword. Not gonna be a sword, it's gonna be a button or a lever, I don't remember which. I just want to make sure it does it differently. There's the button, yay! Okay, let's set the chest now to have the other one, the bow. Start. Yay, I got a lever. Cool. Let's put a key in that one too. Let's check our key counter. So we have 0 keys currently. Open this one. We still have 0 keys, awesome. And we still have 0 keys. So, is the merge not working? Chest interaction. That's cave. Went chest interaction. We are merging the inventory, which should go to this code. And increase our key counter by whatever's in this. And this is all the one that's on the player. Right? Player inventory, yeah. Find objects player, get its inventory. And then there was a script that we did to update the display of the player GUIs. Key counter, there we go. So we're finding that text and calling it an update. We're getting the player's inventory, doing key count to string. Let's put a debug point there and run. Nah, see, it's not even running at all. That code's not running. So it should have broke already. And it didn't. So player GUI's not getting set somewhere. So that's going to be in this scene down here. Save. Was it this one? I want to say it's this stuff that it should have it on. It needs to have a reference to the player's inventory and the key counter. It can be anywhere, basically. Well, player GUI. Gosh, let's put it on the player. Ta-da! Save. Run. Gotta make sure I'm drinking enough, right? Just check our stats real quick. Okay, didn't kill performance doing it. Hey, we got 2 of them. Hey, we're going up like crazy. Because I keep hitting E on that. Yeah. It's working. I just have a bug in the chest. Which is that you can continue to interact with it after it is been opened. Or that its inventory doesn't reset to nothing. That would be another option. Let's do that. So we'll create a method on the inventory itself that says public. What, are we still in play mode? Can I change you? Stop. There we go. Public void clear. No, it's just going to be this own inventory. So key count equals 0. Has power sword equals false. Has bow equals false. Boom, done. And then on the chest, after merge, let's say my inventory got clear. Basically empty the chest because we put it in the player. We get 1 key, we get 2 keys, we get no more keys. Awesome. We have a player reference in the chest. A player inventory. Doing the animations is not going to be easy to do from a chest because the player is actually separated over 4 different objects. And this is where the controller sits, is on those child objects. Need to abstract that a bit so that it's easier to do. And not just this animation, like all animations should be easier to do. Like pass it off to the player controller. And have it handle passing it to the correct direction then. Or something. I believe he's got an animation controller. Yeah, he's got animation controllers set up on him. Get active admin. Yeah, see, I've already done this. So it looks for the right direction and plays the right animation triggers. Gosh. Goes a step further than that. That's just the down direction I've got an animation in. We need to make animations for the up and the side and all that stuff too. Or force him to be down. Can we force him to be down? Current direction. Activate direction is an option there. Right, and it's gonna do the flipping of the states on the ones that it needs to flip states on. There's nothing that says activate this specific direction, it's just activate a direction. So we'll need to have a set direction basically that runs before this that we can call. Public void set direction. And it's going to take the direction like that. Okay, and it's going to set current direction equals to direction with the lowercase d, and it's going to say activate direction. There we go. So I kind of want him to turn to the camera, right? That's what I'm thinking. Because if he's facing up, which would be your natural position to be in to walk towards a chest most of the time, because the chest's like facing down, so you want to walk to it from the bottom, and he's gonna go ooh, to the with his back to the camera. But don't do this. So I'll activate the direction, get the active direction. Public set direction on the player controller. I'm just going to create one specific method for this. So public play item get public void play item get anim. It's going to set the direction dot down. And then animation, no. Get active admin set trigger. And the trigger is going to be item get. And over here on the animator, or oh gosh, the player's not there. This one. Right there it is. We'll say from any state we'll make a transition down to that, and this is going to be based on a trigger, which we don't have set up yet. So parameters, trigger, what I call it? Get item. And then get item. Save. Then we need to call this from our item display. Where's item display at again? It's on this, right? Yep. So we can say transform dot get component player controller dot oh wait, we got to set a transition out of that, I believe. I want to force it to not just sit there on that idle or on that transition. On that animation. Okay, here it goes. Oh, he's face down. That's half the battle. Oh, he did it! He did it! He did it! I just was impatient. Why'd he take so long? Jeez. I was extremely slow. That is so uncoordinated. The item appears, and then like 2 minutes later, he does the... I got it, I think. So exit state should be 0. Has exit time? No, just start playing it immediately. I think it's finishing the idle animation, then playing him. That was better. Now, why didn't his other object show up this time, though? Nothing aired in the console. Like, the key didn't show up, but he played the animation right away. Okay, 0 keys. I go over here. I do it. I don't think I changed anything there. Does the chest still have a key? I get rid of it. Key count 1. Key count 1. I mean, I am clearing it, but that's after the fact. We're in display item. That should be in the chest, right? On display item. We are. We cleared it before we showed it. Ta-da! Yay. We can pick up items. Now, not every item is going to be worthy of raising your hand, right? But ones in chest, I think, probably should be. Just to give you a clear indication of what it is that you got. Because it might be like currency or something and your numbers just go up and there's not a whole lot of indication if we don't give it an item, like a gem or something. We have keys. We have a key counter. Make him open the door if he's got more than one key. Maybe. Where's our door at? Is that what this is? Yep. Door script. There we go. Losing my voice from not drinking enough. So we just have methods for opening it. We don't have anything around the collider down here, the secondary collider that's a trigger. And that's what we need. So let's get something that's already got it, because I can copy the code and be a little faster. Our chest has already got the collider code. Our triggers. Enter and exit. Go. And in the door controller, we'll just paste them like right there. And we need to set up this bool value here. Private bool, that. And then in update, right? Update, yep. Void update. Say if players in range and input get button down, right? First frame. Yep. Interact, I believe it is. Interact like that. And we'll say open, right? Okay. That does that piece, but we need to get the players. Everything needs a reference back to the player all the time. It's needed though. Private. Private. Player inventory. What's this inventory? Player inventory. And we'll say player inventory equals game object dot find game object with tag player dot get component inventory. So we're going to grab the inventory of the player basically, right, and store it into this variable. Then we're going to check this variable down here to say key count is greater than 0 if boom. There we go, and then we'll say key count player inventory dot key count equals minus basically, reduce 1. Come on, get my tabbing right. There. It should open it. Should open it. It should consume a key. Now what? So on update, we're doing. So my brackets weren't right. There we go. Oops, grabbed 2 instead of 1. Okay. So we're good there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I got the next one. Play. So first test, can I go over to the door and open it? No, I can't. Aha! I can go over to the stupid button to get it. Now I got a key. I got 1 key. I go up to the door, I hit the button, it opens, and it stays open. I can walk through it, and I have 0 keys left. Oh, awesome! That was an unintended side effect that is probably a good thing. So, okay, I need to check to see if the inventory is blanked out before I play the animation and all that, I guess. But what I'm doing here is I'm standing next to this lever, and I can activate the lever. And on the lever is the open chest action. So on this lever here, it is... What? There it is. Is the player kinematic or dynamic? I've got him set as a dynamic rigid body, if that's what you're asking. So I can apply forces to him when someone attacks him. And hello, Andrew. Andrew, question for you. I don't think that the built-in Unity nav mesh works in 2D. I think it's only for 3D. Do you know? I think it only works in 3D. And really my question is, what are you using for AI navigation? Seems like it does work? Ooh. I didn't think it would. Boy, if it does, that makes my life easier. Okay, fair enough. Right now, my AI is super stupid. Like, if he's here and the first point is here, he will walk from A to B, and try and go through everything in his way. And if there's something in his way, he just sits there and tries to walk towards it. He can't. So that's why I know NavMesh would solve that problem really easy, right? I've used it before in 3D, just not in 2D. And when you look at the NavMesh stuff in Unity, where is it? AI navigation. Like, it wants the heights and stuff, right? Of how tall your character is, what's the step height it can go up, what's the angles that it can go. That doesn't apply in a 2D world, right? There's nothing like that. So I just don't think it's gonna work. I haven't tried it, but I don't think it's going to. So we've got inventories working, we've got an animation working, we've got the keys working with doors. Right, there's definitely like A-Star. I know that's a thing. There's also a free version of A-Star that you can get. But I don't know if it works with the Unity colliders, right? You might have to add an extra component to the colliders in order for that to work. And if that's the case, then if it doesn't work with a natural collider in Unity, it's going to be a problem for tile map colliders, right? Because it's not going to be a game object for it to find to determine, hey, this collider shouldn't be. And you can't add something else to a tile map and have it one tile only that's a collider. Oh, and what I was trying to say the other day about do you need colliders was more along the lines of this is how Minecraft does it, right? So Minecraft doesn't use a physics system really. It just calculates everything on its own. So like when you try and walk forward, it just looks to see if you're crossing over into the next block over. And if you are, is there something there or is it air? If it's air, you can walk into it. If it's not, you can't walk into it. It's pretty much that simple. So that's what I was suggesting with what you're working on. If you take your current, let's say like this path is your cave and the grass is your walls of your cave. If the player is trying to go up, you know, he's going to move from this tile to this tile. In general, 2D grid pathfinding algorithm doesn't need to know colliders. But it needs to know where it can't walk. Like, don't go here kind of thing. Just if there's a block that... Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see what you're saying. So access the actual tile map itself and then feed that into it. That could work. So I haven't gone into code to reference any of the tile map stuff yet. I assume it's pretty easy, but I just haven't done it. So anyway, what I was saying was if your player's here, there's no block here, so you can just check that block up and say, can I walk in this direction? If I can, then go there. And then once he crosses into this block coordinates, check that one. And there is a block there, so don't let him walk that direction. Then you don't need colliders. You don't need colliders on the cave edges. So that might help you with the performance of the colliders is what I was trying to get to. What I was talking about yesterday. I imagine you'd have to do it for everything though, right? If you've got other objects in the world or enemies, item drops that interact with physics in the world, then you're getting beyond probably what you want to do for that. And as far as knowing if you can mine this tile, if he's facing to the north, he can mine this tile. If it's a block. Depends on the range of the miner, I guess, too. But it should be easy enough to go through a 2D array and say, you know, if he's got a range of 10, plow through them. I've done it before in Minecraft mods. Okay. I think I've accomplished what I wanted to go for tonight. And I'm having a little bit of writer's block of what I need to do next. And it's 9 o'clock, so I think I might stop here. Let me check Trello real quick. Ooh, a video. Yeah, so there's a... Gosh, I had gotten it on the Unity Asset Store. I want to say it's A-Star Pro, but there's a free version of it. It's not going to be found easy, is it? Everything in the sun's got A-Star in it. Oh, it's using it as a wildcard. How nice. Nice Unity. A-Star. Let's do it that way. I know it's a thing. I know it's out there. There's a free version of it that you can get. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I've messed with it briefly before. But even that was for 3D, but I think it basically went up in the air and raycast down to figure out where things were. It was a different approach to stuff. I'm not seeing it in my list. I've got a project sitting around here somewhere that's got it in it. If I find it, I'll let you know what it's called. Turn sounds off on this. But this is you're right. A-Star is the way to do it. I just didn't know if I could bypass having to create A-Star in Unity. That is a nice visual of it, though, of how it works. So when he clicks the button or whatever, it goes and tries to find the path and then gets one that's the shortest. Anyway. Let me pull up my Trello. So what do we need to do? Pushable objects, we've got them. We started on some overlays before. Enemy drops are not there. Story. I thought I had things like buttons and stuff on here. I guess I didn't. Nope. My Trello itself is a work in progress. Okay, well, like I said, week ago when I started the project. I guess it's 2 weeks now, right? It's almost the weekend. Yeah, I started on like the 29th or 30th of last year. Did you guys see the deal about they passed the law? I guess they didn't pass it. It's been passed a while ago, and it just went into effect where... Oh, okay. Just went into effect where all video games in 2019 and beyond have to have accessibility built into them. So you have to have means of someone that is visually impaired to be able to play the game, or someone that's can't hear to be able to play the game, things like that. And some of those I think would be a serious challenge. Like, how are you going to get someone to play a video game that can't see at all, right? I think you have to accommodate somewhat. It was passed several years ago, is my understanding, but video games kept getting an extension on when they need to comply. I'll find the article that was linked to from a YouTube video that I seen, and I'll send it to you. It's going to impact us all, right? Like, Exactly. I think it's you have to make an effort to do it, right? And there's going to be things that you just can't do, right? So for everything that happens, make a sound for it, right? Or don't rely just on sounds to indicate something is going on in your game. Do something visual too, so that can be taken care of. It seemed like it was somewhat open to interpretation, but it's a new thing that games haven't had to deal with before. I agree with you. It's a serious challenge. It's a serious challenge, and it's something that could severely handicap indie developers. Because you don't have the funds to go research ways of doing all these things, right? No. We need to clean up this junk at some point. That should be easy to do. Maybe the United States. Where did I don't think I saved it. And let me find it on YouTube. In my massive history. Oh, it's the US. So it was something like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago the law passed, I guess, and it's just now going into effect for video games. Come on, where's it at? All games must be accessible after January 2019. So it's this YouTube channel, Game Dev Underground, had it, but here is the article that he linked off to. After January 1st, 2001, 2019, sorry. Yeah, like Silo holding an orange. Yeah. Must be accessible, must have accessible communications under CVAA legislation. That's right. It did apply to communications, but it was kind of vague in the description in this article. It sounded like it applied to other things in your games too. So, yeah. If you have it open. So, operable without vision. Provide at least one mode that does not require user vision. How would you do that in a video game, right? How are you going to avoid walking into something when, like, you don't want to give away that it's there? It's a creative thing, right? So, yeah. I don't know. That's not his area of expertise, right? Video games. Compliance date for most industries was 2012. It was signed in 2010, but consoles and gameplay networks had a series of waivers in 2015, and games had an additional waiver in 2018. But it's business, yeah. But it's, you know, you and me business instead of big business. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, read the whole thing, right? Take your own interpretation of it, right? So, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing here. I kind of want it to be the law to be better explained than what this article is before I would do anything different, right? Haven't released this anyway, right? So no one can play it. I suspect it's going to be a challenge to uphold it. I mean, I get that it's a law and that like it's supposed to be upheld just by being a law, but like that just hampers anyone's ability to make anything creative doing this, right? Like it even goes into the standpoint of like people that have seizures from having flashing lights, you can't do that. Right? You can't flash something on the screen, but yet at the same time, I have to make it flash on the screen so that someone that can't hear can see it. I'm all for like making things accessible to people, but like you had to do 15 different things to make it work for everybody. There's only so much screen real estate and sounds that you can do. So, this week in game dev news, I guess. Big laws that are interpretation are ridiculous. Like in Canada, you can't use a flip knife. The definition of a flip knife changes in a gold knife. Yeah. Okay, guys. Is anyone out there to raid? Let's take a look. Let's go to that. Okay. Let's do science and technology. You guys aren't streaming, right? Before I hand it off to somebody else. Yeah, it's not coming up. Game programming, Twitch integrated pirate ship game. Can I do it later on? Okay. Was trying to get some stars. 8-bit NES assembly. Wow. Somebody's still making NES games? Game dev things or something. Okay, let's do it this way. There's no reason that we can't see this, right? What looks interesting here? Nothing else there. This one's like might be the most interesting. Twitch integrated pirate game. I'm gonna open it up on my screen just in case there's something crazy going on. Or it's just a title screen. That's literally all it is. And there's 100 and some people watching this? Must be somebody that has a big following. Yeah, they got 65,000 followers. Dang. Am I using Unity? Come on, add a filter. Unity. Nope. Okay, who's using it in their title then? Unity 2D game dev. Game dev tools. We're gonna stream this guy. Or raid this guy. Z Doctor. Open up, make sure it's okay to go to him. Sure. Z Doctor. Raid. Okay, it'll take you guys there in a little bit, or in like 5 seconds. Bye, everybody. If you haven't followed, follow. See you next time. Right now.